All right, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you're from. And real quick, before we get started, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' constant generosity and your support to me as always. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. And if you guys are actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, if you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, loyalty crown badges, you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help. So thank you guys so much. And for today's video, just like the title says, just like the thumbnail says, there is going to be a bit of a rant this video, so, be warned. I mean, usually I like to think of myself as very optimistic and naive, especially in this community. And it's not that I'm blinded or anything. I know shift up can screw up a lot, but I like to try to be as optimistic as I can because it's not fun to be negative, especially with something I enjoy. However, some recent stuff with recent treasures, if you haven't already seen some content regarding it, there are some problems with it because there's some inconsistencies, and that's kind of an understatement. But let's talk about it, because when we're talking about the treasures in this game, this is kind of something that's kind of iffy because at the same time, this is endgame content. However, there is a lot of RNG involved even for endgame content. And I mean, if you guys remember the original season, it was Diesel, Exia, Freema, and Laplace. Now, Laplace was definitely the cream of the crop when it came down to it. Exia was good if you really wanted to work on an electric team. Freema and Diesel are still kind of on the back burner, but if you really like their wallpaper, you'd go for it, right? And at the same time, what's unfortunate about these is that they all hide more lore about the characters behind it. So if you are really into the lore, you really want to try to grind for these, and that's really unfortunate. And then following that, we had our next summer event that also involved Viper. She got a gotcha skin as well as a treasure, and that treasure involved sustained damage as well. However, a funny little side effect of the treasure was that it kind of bricked her in PvP. So if you used her in PvP back in the day, this would not work anymore because of how her kit changed, and it wouldn't work as well. And then now, after a long wait, we finally got a new set of treasures, and they're kind of fantastic. Now, I know you've heard about Helm, you've heard about Drake doing really good for the shotgun team now with her treasure. Miranda, there's still some question marks. I haven't really heard many people talk about it, but there is some conversations with Milk, and it's something that I really want to talk about because it pisses me off. Now, if you guys are wondering what my Milk looks like in this, my Milk is, she got her treasure, just phase 1. She has OL gear, she is MLB, attraction rank 30, 777, onslaught cube for now, just because she doesn't even deserve anything else. She shouldn't even have a cube. I know that's kind of harsh, but let me talk about it because I remember a while ago when they first announced these, I told you that either way, I'm going for this wallpaper because I just want it because it looks amazing, which it does. It's one of my favorite wallpapers. Now, that being said, even though the treasure was probably going to suck, I was hoping for some differences. And differences there are, but it's like a 2% difference. I'm going to be honest. Like, it's a little dramatic to say 2%, but hear me out. If we actually go to the Wikipedia and go to the favorite items, we can actually get a good look at the treasure maxed out at 10, 10, 10 to see what the potential is. So let's take a look at the skills. And as you can see right here, skill 1, when you actually get the first item, phase 1, all it does is that it lowers her cooldown by 20 seconds at the start, which is great. Milk is an unfortunate burst one who had 40 seconds, and in 2025, that's ridiculous. However, if you're gonna go this far with getting a favorite item, I would like to see at least a change in the highest attack, because 31% for 3 allies with the highest attack isn't that great, especially at level 10 skills. There's a lot better out, especially for a burst one. Now, I'm not saying I want something meta, but I want something still solid, especially for the amount of resources that you put into these treasures. And phase 2, it gets kind of worse, because with her normal one, it's just critical damage going up 11%. It's still 11%. There is no difference. However, when attacking with full charge for 10 times and affects all allies, cooldown of the burst skill goes down 2.83 seconds. And that's at level 10 at phase 2. So you get all these resources, you get your skills to level 10, and this is what you're rewarded with. Now, I know for a fact that nobody at Shift Up cared about this treasure for the sole reason that if you just got a level 4 skill Sakura, it would be better than this. And I'm not even kidding, because if we actually go check, I actually have my Sakura all the way down here. She's not in the synchro, but she is available, and she's right here. She's at 444, and if you look at her skill 2, Falling Petals right here, activates when entering full burst and affects all allies. Cooldown of burst skill goes down 3.52 seconds. This is ridiculous. At level 4, it does way more. Way more. So you're better off just using a default Sakura as just a plugin, so you don't have to worry about it at all, rather than putting in all those resources to just get that phase 2 item for Milk. That's how I can tell they just kind of gave up with this, because that's ridiculous to me. That you would put all that and then you'd get nothing in return. It sucks. And then when we're talking about her phase 3, which costs a lot to get there, her phase 3 is pretty underwhelming, because once again, affects one enemy unit with the highest defense. Final attack as damage is the same number as before. And that's going to be funny when I show you something in a second, because what is changed here is that it affects all allies, recovers 16.60% of attack damage as HP over 10 seconds. That's still the same. They didn't increase it for some reason, and they added potency of HP. And I'm sorry, but potency in this game isn't that great. It's not something that you really want to look for healing. Now, what you want to look for in healing is like max HP and that storage thing that both Marciana and the new Maid Anchor have, which is great. Potency isn't that great in my opinion in this game, so it's wild to see that this is the one change that they did rather than actually increasing the stats of her attack. And that's wild to me, because if we're talking about dealing this much attack and it's nothing, well, let's go take a look at Helm. Because with Helm, if you actually go look at what they do for her right here, this attack damage right here, and then now she deals more final attack. With her skill 1, she recovers, caster's final max HP, fills the burst gauge. That's great. But her phase 3 is what we need to talk about. Affects the enemy with the highest attack. Originally, it deals 1,237.5% of final attack as damage. The new one deals 8,000 of final attack as damage. And then she has a charge damage multiplier for herself alongside that. That is an actual insane change that brings her up the meta. And the fact that this character got a complete makeover with her treasure and it's absolutely phenomenal, while Milk got nothing in return, is insane to me. I'm sorry. It's a waste of resources to put it into this character. Now, if you like the wallpaper, you do it for waifu, go for it. I completely understand. And before anybody says something, I just want to say that I'm at a part where I can still use Milk. I can use her in the campaign and breeze by it fine. I'm level 472. I have over 1 million squad power with my campaign team, so I can fuck around and just make whatever I want with teams for campaign. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about putting in that many resources into a character, and they're nowhere near as good as they should be. And that's what frustrates me, because it seems so inconsistent with a lot of other things, and then you have Drake doing really well as well. Why didn't Milk get that attention? A waste of resources and a waste of an opportunity to make her better, because I love Milk as a character. While Freema got something underwhelming, there was at least a change there. Milk got absolutely nothing in return, and I'm worried about Sugar if she ever got something. I'd rather her get an alt, and in the recent maid event, they did talk about Milk, trying to be a maid next year. Maybe, who knows? I'd rather take that. I'd rather her get an alt even with a treasure, but who knows? But, this was my kind of rant. Let me know what you guys think. Am I being too harsh? Am I speaking facts? Let me know. I try to be optimistic with this game, but something like that really pisses me off, because that was like months of resources and just dealing with RNG, and it just kind of sucks that all of that kind of went to waste just for a nice looking wallpaper. It's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess. At least Mast and Anchor are great. But yeah, as always, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely night wherever you're from. And as always, thank you so much for the constant support. Take care and have a good one.